Success leaves clues, but most people never notice them. They spend years searching for the perfect opportunity, waiting for the right moment, hoping that one day life will finally change. Yet the people who seem to get what they want are often not the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. They simply understand a few powerful principles that most others completely overlook. That is why two people can start from the same place with the same resources, yet end up living completely different lives. One keeps moving forward while the other stays trapped in the same routine, wondering why nothing ever changes. The difference is rarely luck. The difference is the way they think, the choices they make, and the habits they repeat every single day. Many people believe success belongs to those with natural gifts, powerful connections, or endless motivation. That belief is comforting because it gives failure an excuse, but psychology tells a different story. Researchers have spent decades studying why some people consistently achieve their goals while others give up long before they reach them. The answers are surprisingly simple, but they are also uncomfortable because they place the responsibility back into our own hands. The human brain is constantly making decisions without us even realizing it. It chooses comfort over growth. It protects familiar routines instead of chasing meaningful change. It looks for quick rewards while ignoring long-term success. Most people don't lose because life is unfair. They lose because their own mind quietly works against them, and they never learn how to take control of it. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not free from fear, doubt, or failure. They simply understand how to work with their mind instead of fighting against it. That single difference changes everything. There is a hidden pattern behind every meaningful achievement. Once you recognize it, your goals stop feeling impossible and start becoming practical. The most successful people in the world are not making random decisions. They are following principles that shape their actions every day, even when they don't feel motivated. This is one of the biggest secrets behind lasting success. Motivation feels exciting, but it disappears quickly. Systems, discipline, and clear thinking continue long after motivation is gone. That is why so many people start the year with big dreams and endless energy, but quietly give up a few weeks later. Their excitement fades because excitement was never meant to carry them to the finish line. There is another force that does, and very few people ever learn how to use it. In this video, you will discover why clarity is more powerful than motivation, why your daily habits secretly decide your future, why waiting for the perfect moment keeps you stuck, and why changing your identity is often more important than changing your goals. You will also learn why small decisions that seem unimportant today can completely transform your life over time. These are not empty motivational ideas. They are lessons supported by psychology and real human behavior. Some of them may challenge what you have believed for years, and some may completely change the way you approach success from this day forward. As the video continues, each lesson will connect with the next, revealing a complete picture that many people spend years trying to understand. Missing even one part can make the entire process harder than it needs to be. That is why watching until the very end matters. The final lesson brings everything together and explains why some people finally reach their dreams after years of struggle, while others stop just a few steps before success was within reach. It is a simple truth, but once you understand it, you may never look at your goals the same way again. Sometimes the biggest breakthrough doesn't come from learning something completely new. It comes from seeing something familiar in a completely different way. The principles you are about to discover have helped countless people build better careers, stronger relationships, healthier bodies, greater confidence, and more meaningful lives. They are available to anyone willing to understand and apply them consistently. The question is not whether these ideas work. The real question is whether you are willing to think differently from the crowd. Because the crowd keeps waiting, keeps complaining, and keeps hoping life will magically improve. The people who succeed choose another path. They understand that every decision shapes the person they become tomorrow. Every action, no matter how small, sends a message to the brain about who they are and what they are capable of achieving. Over time, those small messages become beliefs. Those beliefs become habits, and those habits create an entirely different life. By the end of this video, you won't just know what successful people do differently. You'll understand why they do it, how your own mind influences every result you get, and the practical changes you can begin making immediately to move closer to the life you truly want. If you're ready to stop relying on luck and start understanding the psychology behind getting what you want in life, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Apex Aura. Here we explore psychology, self-improvement, and timeless lessons that help you think smarter, grow stronger, and live with greater purpose. If you enjoy content that challenges your mindset and gives you practical ideas you can actually use, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Now, let's begin with the biggest mistake almost everyone makes. Most people never fail because they dream too little. They fail because they never define exactly what they are chasing. There is a huge difference between a wish and a goal, yet many people treat them as if they are the same thing. A wish sounds like, I want more money, I want success, I want to be happy. Those words feel meaningful, but they give your mind almost nothing to work with. What does more money actually mean? $10 more? 10,000? A successful career? A successful business? What kind of happiness are you looking for? Peace of mind? Strong relationships? Financial freedom? If you cannot answer those questions, your brain cannot create a clear path toward them. Your mind is designed to solve problems, but it cannot solve a problem that has no clear definition. Think about using a navigation app. If you simply type, "Take me somewhere nice," the app cannot guide you because the destination is too vague. The same thing happens inside your brain. Without a specific destination, every decision becomes uncertain. Every opportunity looks equally important. Every distraction seems harmless because there is no clear standard to compare it against. This is why people spend years staying busy but making very little real progress. They confuse movement with direction. Psychology has shown that specific goals increase focus because the brain begins filtering information related to what you want. Suddenly you notice opportunities that were always there but never caught your attention before. It is not because the world changed, it is because your attention changed. A person who decides to start a business suddenly notices business ideas everywhere. Someone who decides to improve their health starts paying attention to food choices, exercise habits, and daily routines. Clarity changes what your mind notices, and what your mind notices eventually shapes your actions. The clearer your goal becomes, the easier it is to make decisions. Instead of asking yourself what you feel like doing today, you begin asking whether today's actions move you closer to your destination. That simple shift removes confusion and replaces it with purpose. Every meaningful achievement begins with a decision that is so clear it leaves no room for excuses. But even the clearest goal is not enough if it depends only on motivation. Motivation is exciting because it feels powerful in the moment. It makes people believe they can change their lives overnight. The problem is that motivation is emotional, and emotions change constantly. Some mornings you wake up feeling unstoppable. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If your progress depends on how you feel, your progress will always be unpredictable. That is why so many people begin with incredible energy, but slowly drift back into old habits. Their excitement fades, and with it, their commitment. The people who keep moving are driven by something much deeper. They have a reason that survives bad days, failures, criticism, and setbacks. Psychologists often describe this as intrinsic motivation, which means doing something because it connects with your values and identity instead of chasing temporary rewards. A person who exercises only to look good may quit after a few difficult weeks. A person who exercises because they want to stay healthy for their family has a much stronger reason to continue. One goal is built on appearance. The other is built on purpose. Purpose has emotional weight. It reminds you why your effort matters long after the excitement disappears. When your reason becomes deeply personal, quitting starts to feel more painful than continuing. That changes everything. You stop asking whether you feel motivated today because the question no longer matters. You act because your reason demands action. Every challenge becomes easier to endure because you know exactly what is waiting on the other side. The strongest people are not always the most motivated. They are simply connected to a purpose that refuses to let them stop. Once your reason becomes powerful enough, your actions begin to change. One of the biggest lies people believe is that the perfect moment will eventually arrive. They tell themselves they will start when they have more confidence, more knowledge, more money, or more time. Days become weeks, weeks become years. Nothing changes except the calendar. The perfect moment never appears because perfection is an illusion. Behind the search for perfect timing is usually something much deeper. Fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged by people who are often too busy worrying about their own lives to pay much attention. Perfectionism sounds responsible, but many times it is simply fear wearing a different face. It convinces people that waiting is smarter than acting. In reality, waiting often creates more fear because every day of inaction makes the challenge seem even bigger. Confidence is not something you collect before taking action. Confidence is something you earn after taking action. Every successful person started before they felt completely ready. They made mistakes. They learned lessons. They adjusted their approach. Each small victory became evidence that they could handle the next challenge. This is how the brain builds confidence. It trusts proof more than positive thinking. You can repeat encouraging words to yourself all day, but one completed action has far greater power than 100 motivational quotes. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your brain records that experience. It begins forming a new belief about who you are. Small actions become small victories. Small victories create momentum. Momentum creates consistency. Consistency eventually produces extraordinary results. Waiting creates doubt. Action creates belief. This is exactly why successful people spend less energy making decisions every day. They understand that willpower is limited. Every choice you make uses a little mental energy. If you depend on deciding everything in the moment, you eventually become tired and start choosing whatever feels easiest. Instead of relying on willpower, high achievers build systems. They remove unnecessary decisions by creating routines that repeat automatically. They wake up at similar times. They exercise at scheduled hours. They read regularly. They save money consistently. They practice important skills without debating whether they feel like doing it. Habits reduce mental effort because the brain no longer has to negotiate every action. It simply follows the routine that has already been established. Think about reading 10 pages every day. It does not sound impressive. Saving a small amount of money every week does not sound life-changing. Practicing one skill for 30 minutes each day does not create dramatic results overnight. Yet months later, those tiny actions create a completely different reality. One book becomes 12 books. Small savings become financial security. Daily practice becomes expertise. This is the quiet power of compounding. Most people underestimate what small actions can become because they judge progress one day at a time instead of 1 year at a time. Systems make progress almost invisible at first, but unstoppable later. They keep working even when motivation disappears because they are built into your daily life instead of depending on your emotions. As your systems become stronger, another challenge begins to reveal itself. Success is not only about adding better habits, it is also about removing the habits and influences that quietly pull you backward. Many people focus only on what they should start doing while ignoring everything they should stop doing. Distractions steal more dreams than lack of talent ever could. Every unnecessary notification interrupts your focus. Endless scrolling convinces your brain that instant entertainment is more rewarding than meaningful progress. Hours disappear without producing anything valuable. Negative people create another invisible barrier. Spend enough time around people who complain about everything, and you slowly begin accepting their mindset as normal. Comfort zones are equally dangerous because they feel safe. They whisper that tomorrow will always be a better time to begin. Excuses sound reasonable in the moment, but repeated often enough, they become permanent habits. Success requires protecting your attention because attention is one of the most valuable resources you possess. Wherever your attention goes, your time follows. Wherever your time goes, your future follows. Every distraction is asking you to trade a piece of your future for a few seconds of comfort. The people who achieve remarkable things are not always more intelligent. They simply become very selective about what deserves their attention. They understand that saying yes to one thing always means saying no to something else. As those distractions begin to disappear, something even more powerful starts to happen. Your identity begins to change. Most people chase results without realizing that results are temporary if the person creating them never changes. Someone may force themselves to exercise for a month, but if they still see themselves as a lazy person trying to work out, old habits eventually return. Compare that with someone who genuinely believes they are an active person. Their behavior naturally follows that identity. Instead of trying to write a book, become a writer who writes every day. Instead of trying to get fit, become someone who never misses a workout because health is simply part of who they are. Instead of trying to save money, become someone who values discipline and thoughtful decisions. Identity shapes behavior because people naturally act in ways that match the story they tell themselves. Every small action strengthens that story. Every choice becomes another vote for the person you are becoming. This is why lasting change begins from the inside rather than the outside. There will still be moments when it feels like nothing is happening. Those moments test almost everyone. Progress is rarely dramatic in the beginning. A seed grows beneath the soil long before anyone sees the first sign of life. The same idea is often explained through the bamboo tree. For years, almost nothing appears above the ground while the roots grow stronger beneath the surface. Then, in a surprisingly short time, the tree rises rapidly. People who only notice the final result think success happened overnight, but they never saw the years of invisible preparation. Real growth works the same way. Skills improve quietly. Confidence develops gradually. Discipline becomes stronger through repetition. Results often stay hidden until enough progress has accumulated to become impossible to ignore. This is where most people quit. They mistake invisible progress for no progress. They assume their effort is being wasted because they cannot yet see the reward. The people who eventually succeed keep showing up anyway. They trust the process even when there is no applause, no recognition, and no immediate payoff. One day the invisible work becomes visible and everyone calls it luck. In reality, it was persistence patiently collecting rewards that could never be earned in a single day. The biggest difference between the people who achieve their dreams and those who keep chasing them isn't luck. It isn't talent. It isn't having the perfect opportunity. It's the decisions they make when nobody is watching. Every meaningful change begins long before anyone else can see it. It starts with getting clear about what you truly want instead of settling for vague wishes. It grows stronger when you find a reason that is powerful enough to keep you moving. Even after motivation fades, it becomes real the moment you stop waiting for the perfect time and take the first step. From there, success is built through simple daily systems, not bursts of excitement. It becomes easier when you remove the distractions that steal your time and energy. It lasts when you stop chasing goals and begin becoming the kind of person who naturally creates those results. And above all, it depends on one quality that almost every successful person shares: consistency. Small actions may seem insignificant today, but repeated every day, they shape your future in ways you cannot yet imagine. Always remember this. The life you want isn't built in one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small choices that nobody notices. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, focus over distraction, and growth over excuses, you are quietly building a future that most people only dream about. One day, people will look at your success and think it happened overnight. They won't see the early mornings, the difficult decisions, the quiet persistence, or the countless moments when you chose not to give up. But you will know, and that is what makes the journey worthwhile. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. Now we'd love to hear from you. Which lesson had the biggest impact on your thinking? Was it the power of clarity, the importance of purpose, building systems, changing your identity, or staying consistent when nothing seems to be changing? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your experience might inspire someone else to take their first step today. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs this message right now. And if you want more videos on psychology, self-improvement, success, and powerful mindset shifts that can genuinely transform the way you think and live, Make sure to subscribe to Apex Aura and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next video. Your journey toward becoming your best self starts with one decision, and there's no better time than today. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep becoming the person your future self will thank you for.